Everybody's getting rich tonight, at least that's what they say. Everybody's laughing way too loud, like nothing's gonna change. You had diamonds in your teeth while the room caught fire slow. I guess everybody looks beautiful under bright lights and false hope. You make a bad thing feel innocent, you make a fast crash feel like flying. Nothing hurts like almost having it. Nothing burns like letting go. You pull me close just to watch me panic, like you already know. Everybody wants forever, till forever breaks in two. Nothing's ever good as it looks when it's sold by people like you. Everybody swears they saw it coming after it hits the floor. Funny how the loudest voices never say much anymore. Now the TV's glowing red, like a warner nobody reads, and everybody's still pretending they don't love the way it bleeds. You make a bad thing feel innocent, you make a color feel cinematic. Nothing hurts like almost having it. Nothing burns like letting go. You pull me close just to watch me panic, like you already know. Everybody wants forever, till forever breaks in two. Nothing's ever good as it looks when it's sold by people like you. Maybe we were just kids trying to turn sparks into sunlight. Maybe everybody here just got addicted to the bright lights. And maybe I would have stayed if the room stopped spinning for a minute. Nothing hurts like almost having it. Nothing burns like letting go. You pull me close just to watch me panic, like you already know. Everybody wants forever, till forever breaks in two. Nothing's ever good as it looks when it's sold by people like you.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where it is a beautiful June the 15th. I hope you guys had a phenomenal weekend. Whether you were watching the UFC spectacular event last night on the lawn, UFC, what was it, 250? Whether you were watching the Knicks game before that, whether you were watching the U.S. men's soccer team destroy Paraguay before that, whatever you were up to, I hope you had a good weekend. Maybe you didn't watch sports at all. Maybe you just enjoyed some sunshine, got a little bit of rest and relaxation with the family, friends, or maybe just by yourself. Maybe you're hanging out with your cat. Whatever it was, I hope you had a good one. Good news on top of, hopefully, fingers crossed, you having a phenomenal weekend. The market is looking phenomenal. Well, I guess that's not such good news if you were bearish, but there was really no reason to be bearish in the market close on Friday. So if you were, you might want to look into whatever your strategy is. But today we are seeing a beautiful chef's kiss gap up. So the SPY very green, the Q's very green, AMD up, Micron up, even Bitcoin's up, SpaceX, everything's green. Everything is freaking green. So I hope you're excited for market open. Of course, in 5 minutes when the market opens, I'll give you guys a little bit of a looky-see, a sneak peek at my accounts. I want to talk a little bit about the systematic trading that's been going on. So I want to talk about that when the market gets going. Basically, I was trying to update the strategy, QuantFather, and I was using Fable, which was the newest version of Anthropic's Claude over the weekend. And then the U.S. government murked it and said, no way, because of cybersecurity issues, you are not allowed to do that anymore. So I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of standing around with like a half-built trading strategy. So I have no idea of how today's actually going to end up going. So that's going to make today's active trading a little bit of a spectacle, if you will. But let me do my job in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Let me get my job right here and properly prepare you guys for the upcoming trading day. So first of all, the thing you're going to notice is it's very green, green, green. Green, 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 green. The SPY is up 0.14. The Qs are up 2.27. AMD's up 4.5. Micron's up 8%. There's a lot of green across the board. Looking at the structure, there's a giant gamma node right here at 7525. Basically, we're looking for that to either act as support or resistance. So once again, 7525. A natural target past that would be 7570. If you were bullish out of the gate or at any point today, based on the current setup on SPX, you're looking at 7570, which is an additional $5 on top of the SPY. So we're currently trading at 752. That would put us about 757-ish, just a rough level. So calling out that gamma node. And then, of course, there's a little bit of a baby negative gamma node at 7600. That would effectively be your bull case on the day. The bear case on the day would be we do not hold this positive gamma node and we come down to 7,500. There's negative gamma there. That's an active current bet, as in people are buying puts for that level. And then there's a bit of support at 7,480. That would be your bear case. If you ask me, and am I biased? Of course I'm biased. I have a lot of calls on right now. I'm very much bullish in the market at this moment in time. I am biased to the bullish case, but obviously, like I said, I want to do my job and give you both the bull case and the bear case. Now, with that being said, I do think the bulls are winning. I want to let you know that there is downside gap fills to the high from Friday. The downside gap fill on SPX would be 7456. You better mark it. On SPY, 744.44. On QQQ, it's 724.01. And on IWM, it is whatever this high is, 295.72. We have downside gap fills. We are going to be opening above the high from Friday, which means there's downside gap fill opportunity. Now, the reason I bring this up is because they, in a general sense, are very likely to get filled. But remember, the larger the gap, the more unlikely it becomes. And we're at the point where we're in the fourth, pushing the fifth quintile. Actually, we're in the fifth quintile now, where the likelihood of it is dropping. So I would only be hesitant of that if right in the morning there's a bit of a panic and people who are long decide to take their profits and then they get trapped and we sell all the way down to VWAP. And then following that, we sell to the downside gap fill. So I just wanted to prep you guys with that as we get rocking on the day. There's one thing that I need to change, if you guys don't mind. Okay, is it this one? Is it this one? No, it is not. Is it this one? This one? No, it is not. I just need to fix one thing. There's something wrong with stream. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, I do need to switch one thing up. Hang on. This is going to look ugly for 1 second, but I promise you I will be coming right back. So I just want to get this fixed before the stream really gets going. What is this one? Where are we? Okay, cool. That's fixed. And then right here, let me edit this before I really mess up everything on the day and all the sponsors and whatnot get angry at me. All right, we're going to fix that. Okay, and we are back right in time for things to get rocking. All right, let's drop to the 1 minute. 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 And actually, on that note,
Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun.
okay, let's see how we're doing this morning out of the gate. I have some Q calls that are up about 10,000. I have some AMD calls up about 10,000. I have some Micron calls up about 7,000. And I have Apple calls that are actually down 2.5. So that's my only current red position in terms of my options. Is I was swinging calls on QQQ, AMD, Micron. I had a bull put spread that should be getting out actually somewhat soon. Actually, you know what? Let's just close that now. Close strategy. Let's do that for 19. All right, let's lock in the profit there. Let's lock this in very quickly. Come on, go, 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 go. And then hopefully everything else takes off to the high heavens. Whoa, look at that return. A 25% jump in the old account. A nice $17,000 pop-a-roo, 25%. And it's, I locked that in the SPY credit spread, bull put credit spread, a little bit more of a complicated situation. But anyway, up almost 100% on AMD, up almost 100%. Oh, I am up 140% on QQQ, which makes me wonder if I should take half. I have 8, I could dump 4 of them, and then it becomes a free trade. Like I said, the only thing that's concerning me at this moment in time is Apple. I am down, but I don't know. Regardless, it's a nice 18K pop, and that is not all she wrote, because I happen to be in a couple other swing positions as well. SPY calls and TSM calls up 7.4K and 2.7K respectively. So up about 10K on the Webull account and up about 19,000. So 20 plus 10. So up about $30,000 on this market open. Now, obviously, I want to just be kind of like honest about this and what it means, what it doesn't mean. That's a big number. But remember, the game's not over. I could lose it all. I could somehow fumble it. And hopefully I'm not so dumb. I mean, the past 2 weeks, let's be honest, if you've been watching the show at all, you know it's been a really rough 2 weeks for me. So the way I've been trading, trust me, folks, $30,000 is an impressive number, and yet I still somehow have the capability to lose it all. And honestly, the way I've been trading over the past 2 weeks, I have the capability to not only give it all back, but somehow go red. So it's all unrealized, and you can't pay bills with unrealized gains. I guess you also can't necessarily cry about unrealized losses, but my point is that it's unrealized. So maybe the number gets better. Maybe it gets worse. I don't know. I just want to be honest about it, that there's really no point in bragging about unrealized things. I guess what I'm really trying to do with it is say, hey, these positions were called out in real time. Ask anyone in the Discord. We talked about it. I posted it. I've been doing updates on it. I have all of these positions. Obviously, I have the Webull position. So if that's something you're interested in, I know we do a lot of futures trading on the show, but if you're also an option trader, GoonieTrading.com, just wanted to call that out. But with that in mind, actually, how are the futures markets looking right now? Actually, pretty freaking decent. Pretty decent. Oh, a friendly neighborhood reminder. If you are trading futures, do not forget to roll the contract. You need to roll the contract probably like now before you start trading. So the previous contract was the June month. And remember, this Thursday is technically quadruple witching. The market is closed on Friday. This Thursday, the contract, the June month, is going to be dead. You probably want to roll to the September one now. So depending on how you set up your futures, you're either going to want to type in month 9, or you're going to want to move from the M contract, M as in, what's the like military alphabet for M? Milo? Is it Matt? Whatever the M one is, you're going to want to move it to U, which is umbrella. Under my umbrella, Ella, A. So you want to go from M as in Milo or Matt, or M as in the letter M, to the letter U as in umbrella, or Uruguay, or umpire, or unicorn, or I think that's all the words that start with U. It's Mike? Seriously? Talk about overrepresentation by Mike in the military. It's seriously Mike? No way is it Mike. The military alphabet is Mike. Like the M is Mike. That's so lame. What a cop-out, dude. What an absolute cop-out. What's the ticker? For futures, it's NQ. It's always NQ. You just have to get on the right contract month. So NQ is the futures contract for the NASDAQ. But then you have to be on if you're trying to trade the front month, you have to get to the proper front month. And right now, this week is the transition between, it's a new front month. We're going from June to September. It happens 4 times a year, basically every quarter. So just want to throw that out to everyone that you should be rolling right now, especially if you're trading ES or NQ. You're going to want to go from June to September. June to September. Let me get you guys the options flow. We'll get a little bit of music going. We'll talk a little bit about systematic trading. And they're actually, since it's 5 minutes into the day, do you guys mind if I just take one really quick second before I pitch to you signing up for Tradeify, 35% off? You can get going for as cheap as $71. All you have to use is that code Goonie. Before I give you the full pitch on Tradeify, do you guys mind if I share a thought? I think I had a thought that's never been thought before. And I think that's a pretty extreme statement to say. I think most thoughts have been had in this world. I do. I think we're at this point where we're on a thought shortage. I don't think there's many new thoughts that are the first time ever conceived within someone's brain. But I do believe over the weekend, I had a first time thought. Is that all right if I share my... I think it's groundbreaking. I'm going to be completely honest with you. No one's really answering me, so I think you guys just want me to say it, so I'm going to do it. So I realized over the weekend that the world as a whole is pretty biased towards different beverages. And you might be thinking to yourself, what does that mean? Well, let me explain to you my thought from over the weekend and how I came to this final conclusion. If you have ever been to a bar or college or party or a frat or something like that, we've all heard the term beer me, right? Like if we were hanging out together, partying, and you're by the cooler of beer, and I said beer me, you would understand that means toss me a beer. I think we can all agree that is like, okay, that's a well-known thing, right? Like that wasn't just Penn State. That wasn't just my crew. Like you guys have heard that. Can I get like a thumbs up or something like that? I'm not so crazy. Like that's a well-known, not really idiom, but just saying like beer me. Well, I was thinking about that, and that's like a well-known, well-stated, like no one really disagrees with that statement, and we don't really think about it. But as I was feeding baby Kohrs over the weekend, the milk was near my wife, and I needed her to toss me the bottle of milk, and I realized that if it were a beer, not that you should be giving your infant beer, you could say beer me, and she would know to toss you the beer. But in that moment, I realized I couldn't say milk me. Like, you see how the world is incredibly biased? It's a completely different meaning. If I were in a room and I said beer me, you'd be like, whatever, and you toss me a beer. But if I was in a room and you said milk me, that has like a completely different connotation. And that brings me back to my original statement of how incredibly biased this world is against different beverages. Like if you just throw the beverage in there, completely different connotation. You can, if you are depending on the party you go to, you can't just be yelling milk me. Even if you're a person who's like 2% or die and you're like, you know what? I don't drink alcohol. I like to keep my vitamin D and my calcium levels high. And I like to drink milk at parties. And there's a carton of milk right there. And you want someone to toss you that milk? You can't across the party yell, milk me. It would probably cause various problems. So, like I said, the world is incredibly biased against different beverages, and just shouting the beverage means completely different things. And then I also feel like maybe I'm the first person to have realized that. I don't know if this is necessarily like a patent pending opportunity. I don't know if I could somehow own the rights to this original thought, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first person ever to realize this. So if there's a lawyer in the audience and you guys want to help me trademark this, copyright this, do whatever I need to, but I kind of want to own this thought, almost like a NFT or something like that. But feel free. You guys can share this Maybe you're going to school today and you want to share it with your teacher. Maybe you're standing around the proverbial water cooler and you want to share this with your manager at work. I think we need to spread the word that there's a lot of biases going on. There's milk is not a verb. Milk is a verb, actually. Milk me, beer me. The world, I think whoever created the English language really needs to look into the discrepancy between blank me and then throwing a liquid in front of it. This is more philosophical than a bias. It's something. I'm just trying to point out that we're on to something here. Guy to girl, can I beer you? Acceptable. Yeah. But all of a sudden, if a guy to a girl says, can I milk you? You're probably going to get fired or punched or something negative is going to happen. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just dad thoughts with Matt. You know, should we start that every day? Just like my new profound dad thoughts that I come up with. Like it's enlightening. Without having a son, I don't think I would have ever realized this. All right. Anyway, on this particular note, Milk Me is brought to you by Tradeify. Do you like 2% milk? Is there something... Are you ever waking up in the morning and thinking to yourself, man, I wish I had more vitamin D and calcium? Well, boy, oh boy, do I have a product for you. Its name is Tradeify, and it will allow you to trade a SIM-to-funded account for as cheaply as $71. So for those of you who are milk lovers, like myself, get yourself a Tradeify account today. Use code Goonie at checkout to get a nice 35% discount. Once again, code Goonie at discount or on checkout with Tradeify to celebrate your love of milk. Pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video. And please do not tell them that we had this conversation because I'll probably lose my affiliate status. This is the video they kept behind the curtains at the back corner of the store. Sounds like you need more sleep, potentially. Or maybe I need less sleep if I keep coming up with ideas like this. Maybe the issue is people are getting too much sleep, and that's keeping you from having profound thoughts such as this. How are we looking on the account? 22. That's not a bad day. 22 plus a kicker of 10. 22 and a kicker of 10. Well, I don't like what MU is doing intraday. I like its percentage game. SpaceX is really going right now. Well, it was up even more, but that's a nice 6%. TSM down. Apple finally recovering, maybe. But anyway, just a little milk for thought, if you will. A little milk for thought. Reminds me of a movie I watched once. All right, you guys, get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind. We're here. This is a serious trading show. This is a serious trading show for serious people. Here's a look at options flow, a little bit of profit taking. What's my expiration dates and how do I want to manage? July 24th, 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 24th. Okay, so this is the one I need. I only really have to concern myself with the SPY. It's up a nice 8K, 750. We are running into an issue here. I'm going to give it a second, but I might have to take that one off the table. I might have to take that one off the table. Why did this alert not go off? Okay, that alert was stupid. Who needs it anyway? All right, S&P 500 did get a flow alert at 9:32, and then obviously the flow about 6 minutes later started to dip. I've been noticing anywhere from like 4 to 7 minutes is when you see kind of the impact of the flow alert. Once again, that's anecdotal. I don't have like the stats to back that up or anything right now, but it does anecdotally seem like you see a flow alert, then you see the impact on the delta flow about 5-ish minutes later. So just want to call that out to everyone. Mag 7 up, up and away. NASDAQ leaning up, but kind of choppy. And then the Russell kind of choppy as well. So Mag 7 is leading us higher. NASDAQ is not helping us, but not really hurting us. And then the SPY showing a little bit of life. Hey, Matt, I know you come from the tech background. Any thoughts on quantum computing companies long term? I think right now they are great active trades, but I think at the current state, they are horrible investments. Maybe one day they can grow into being great investments, but the science of it is that we're really far behind. It's just not that capable at this moment. So I know that quantum computing, the story of it's pitched as this like amazing, awesome thing. And maybe one day it does grow into it, but the way it's pitched and the headlines we hear about it, and then the current state of where the science is actually at, where the tech is actually at, it's very, very far behind. So that means it's nowhere really close to not only being viable. I mean, I guess that's a little harsh. It's viable, but only in like super unique, specific, nuanced cases. But what's not viable at all is its revenue or its profit model. The revenue model, super questionable, which means the profit model, nowhere even close. So in the current state, June 15th, 2026, it's not something I would consider investing in. But with that being said, those stocks, D-Wave, Qubits, Rigetti, they do have great moves. So they like, as an active trader, yeah, maybe it's something worthwhile to put on your watch list, but it's not something that I would be interested in investing in right now. Hey, Matt, did you get the $1 million from Apex? Nope. Still no communication, official communication with the company. I don't know what to do. I was talking with some people over the weekend, and it's just like, it's kind of disheartening because like I was a big supporter of Apex, and I still want to be. Like, I want it to work out. I want to be affiliated with them. I want to trade on them. They're the only company that gives you up to 20 accounts. I'm just disheartened by the fact that like they still will not talk to me. I've sent in support tickets. I've DM'd the CEO. I've sent emails. Just, I don't know. The situation I find to be very, very frustrating. I thought that when you did this well, they were stoked to support you. So I thought, and obviously it was an erroneous thought. I thought when you traded as well as I did, they wanted to partner with you and put real money behind you and support you. I thought when you were an affiliate as big as I am, that they really wanted that because like, what a great branding marketing opportunity. Not only is he an affiliate, but he has a show and he's one of our best traders ever. So obviously, I guess the best word is disheartened. I just thought that there would be a lot more communication, or at least some communication above zero. So I don't know. I just don't know what to do. And I mean, I haven't done anything. I'm just like sitting around, like, and I guess that's like kind of naive of me that I've been sitting around hoping for the best, hoping that that we've previously had a good business partnership, like my affiliate code's still live, like blah, blah, blah. And like, I thought that it would take our business relationship to the next level. And I was very, very excited for my next chapter with Apex because I thought I could very reasonably become the face of Apex. I traded well. I have a great show. I have a great community. Like together, I thought our community, the Goonie community, could be like really taking Apex to the next level. And the way it's gone is something I never anticipated. And I guess it makes me kind of feel stupid. Maybe if I were to like self-therapize live with all of you, I feel stupid about the whole thing because like I feel, I guess that I was just like naive to not anticipate that it could have gone this poorly. Or it's not even necessarily poor. It's just there's no communication. I don't know what to say. They have not reached out to me. I've reached out to them and I've gotten no response. So I don't know. I feel dumb. I guess that's what I guess my frustration is obviously at them, but then I have like double the frustration at myself because like whenever I do something that I perceive to be dumb, I mean, you guys see how I treat people in here that are doing dumb shit. I'm 10 times harder on myself. So when I do something dumb that I guess in retrospect, maybe it wasn't evident, but it was like kind of obvious. I don't know. I'm fingers crossed, knock on wood. I'm hoping that they are just really, really far behind, and maybe there's some internal stuff going on that they just haven't gotten to me. And I'm still holding out that this issue is just more of like a timing issue. And yeah, granted, they should have had better communication, but I'm hoping that like we can kiss and make up, and I could continue to like be partnered with them, and it's great. But I mean, I know you guys ask me every single day to the point that it's becoming a thing. No, like literally, I just have no. I like no communication. I've had unofficial communication with the company, as in some of the people that I've gotten their phone number or their email, and I'm getting the same thing of like, we can't help you or we don't know anything about your case. But in terms of like from their support line or from the CEO or any official email, like literally zero communication. Can you sue them? I have no idea. I really hope it doesn't come to that. I don't want to do that. It's just, I was hoping that I'm a business, they're a business. I hope the two businesses were working well together. I mean, no one wants it to get into that craziness, but the ordeal is a bit frustrating. And like, I can't take it to social media. I can't complain about it on Twitter because that'll probably just get me banned, because that's what Apex does, is like, if you complain. So I can't like be like, oh my God, they didn't pay me. But I'm obviously not like, I hope this doesn't come off as complaining. I just want to be honest and transparent with all of you guys. Like, they have not reached out to me. That's it. That's the story. And the story has not changed since early February. From early February to now, the story is the exact same as I can't trade my accounts, they're frozen, and no communication from the company. That's it. Like from February, what was it? Like 4th or 5th, whatever that date was, early Feb till now, the story has not changed a single, like not one sentence has been added or edited or removed from the story. As of early February, my accounts were frozen, no communication from the company, and that's it till now. I don't know. It's just, like I said, I'm frustrated at them. I'm frustrated at myself. But in the meantime, maybe I'll make my own $1 million if I can somehow 40x this particular trade. If it hits 100,000, should I just close everything out? Because that's like kind of a cool goal to hit 100,000. Last week, it was at like 50. What else do we have? This is up 11 and climbing. That's cool. I do want to, like I said, the only position I really need to manage today, maybe today, I do have time, June 26th. Everything else is for mid-July. So I have time. Are we coming up to key levels? I just want to we're right at 50. Oh, we're right at 50. Matt, can you explain how the gap in the Globex session is made? Like last night, the Globex was, so it looks like a gap visually, but it's actually not a gap. It's because of the roll of contracts. When we were trading on Friday, this price action was the June contract for the NASDAQ. And then when we opened, it was, well, first of all, there was a bit of a gap because of the news with Trump. If you guys didn't see it, that we effectively like made a deal with Iran. Who knows if it's real or not. So there was a gap, but then the gap seems more extreme than it actually was because of the roll from the June to September contract. So there was a baby gap that is more sizable, if you will, because of this update. Where is it? Man, okay. I know I tweeted it. He is very busy on True Social, but right here. So he tweeted this at 5:30, a half hour before the futures market opened last night. The deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the strait and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the U.S. naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow. President Donald J. Trump, which is obviously, and once again, this is a big if it holds, has led to a very, very bullish reaction. Overall, the market adding trillions of dollars in market cap, counting this whole green stuff. How is it managed in a book adjustment? Well, you have to sell the one position and buy the next one, and then you've completed the role. You can't, well, I guess theoretically you could keep your old contract, but it's going to expire this Thursday. Folks, if you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It's free. It's in the description of the video. Once again, it is 100% free. I just want to let you know that the market is closed this Friday in observation of Juneteenth. So technically the last day of trading this week is Thursday, which also happens to be a quadruple witching day. It is the quarterly, I guess, churn. And then the day before that, Wednesday, is an FOMC meeting. So nothing too important scheduled today or tomorrow. And then it becomes massively important Wednesday with Kevin Warsh, it being his first FOMC speech discussion, and they might be jacking up interest rate. So there's a lot going on Wednesday. And then that leads us to Thursday in the shortened week where we also have the good old quadruple witching roll. You should know today's seasonal bias is bullish. Tomorrow is leaning bearish. Wednesday is neutral. And then Thursday is also leaning bearish, just based on the last 25 to 27 years worth of information. So just wanted to share that with all of you, that it's a pretty crazy, pretty hectic week overall. SpaceX is picking up. It's in the bottom right of your screen. I did buy one share. I'm a big fan of Elon. I'm a big fan of SpaceX, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm not doing my full SpaceX investment position quite yet. I'm going to be waiting till there's a little bit more of a downturn, just because this is commonly how IPOs go. It's not necessarily a knock against SpaceX. It's just this IPOs, the banks do a really good job at overhyping them. So they commonly trade way above their IPO price. And then sometimes you could even argue that the IPO price is a little bit too high. So for me, I'm a fan of SpaceX. I'm a fan of what's going on with the potential merger of Tesla. I'm a fan of Elon. I'm a fan of all of it. I'm just not a fan of the current price. I would rather be in at 130, 125, 100 and ride it back to this price rather than chasing it right here. So I'm by no means against SpaceX. I'm a big fanboy of it. I think this is one of those companies that can truly change the world. And I do think that they have the operator and the team to actually change the world. I just need to get in at a better price. Hey, Matt, the all-time high on TradingView is different than TradeAvate's new contract, Oliver. Which one to follow? You should probably be rolling to the new one today. But the difference is just because of the contract that you're looking at. But you should roll to the new contract today. You should go from the June to the September contract. Matt, Apex sees a fair value gap, which is why they aren't paying you. Well, hopefully not. But I don't know. Like I said, I believe deeply in karma. I believe if you're doing good things will happen to you. So I think if I just keep my head down and do the right shit, and I think it's going to figure it itself out. But that might be an incredibly naive, unbusinessman comment of me, but I'm hopeful that this stuff does get figured out. I really am. AMD bleeding a little bit. Micron, I liked it better up near 100. AMD, TSM is getting hit. Apple is actually showing a little bit of life. RIP Oliver Tree. I know some of the songs from Oliver Tree, but when I saw that news over the weekend, that was wild. For those of you who don't know, Oliver Tree, somewhat of a famous musician, and he makes skits, definitely a personality for sure. Unfortunately, he ended up losing his life in this crazy helicopter crash. I believe he was also with a young Argentinian creator, a YouTube creator as well. But it was something like that two helicopters drove into each other and then it crashed into a car parking lot or something like that. And there was a part of a video of it, and that was crazy. And then over the weekend, there was also a story of, also in Brazil, I believe, this lady was bungee jumping, and the way they do it at this one bungee jumping place is they throw the person, you don't just jump yourself. And the people who threw her, they forgot to hook up the cord. So they literally just tossed this lady off a bridge, and she obviously went splat. And I don't know, there were just some wild things over the weekend. Definitely some wild things over the weekend. What time is it? 9:59. 9:59. Forgot. Yeah, I guess that is an important distinction here. They they allegedly forgot. Of course, it could just be straight up murder for all we know. Of course, it could be straight up murder for all we know. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. What's going on with the market? How big of a breather are we dealing with here? It's past 10 now, right? Is this the old 10 a.m. reversal? Is it the 10 a.m. reversal?
Order. Order submitted.
The old 10 a.m.er. Okay. I took like a quick little scalp trade. I'm in it right now. I'm wondering if they're just a little profit taking is finally going to be seen. I suppose you could argue it's a bit chasey, but I'm seeing that we're pushing below this VWAP, the RTH VWAP, and then I'm kind of looking, are we going to fall from one VWAP to the next VWAP? Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. So it's a short position. Once again, this is obviously intraday trading. My overall bias is still very much up. And as you can see, I have a very tight risk just in case this is a completely wrong read on the situation. I don't want to risk that much. Of course, there's always a shot that we just catch ourselves at VWAP here and bounce. And if that happens, obviously I could go long. It's just the risk reward, which I'm about to get knocked. I'm really close to getting knocked. Minimal risk to high reward. You don't have to be right that many times on a play like this to be net profitable. Of course, I would have liked to be net profitable on this one, but that's not going to happen.
Order
and
filled.
I'm knocked out. So I took the shot because right here it broke. I thought I saw it getting rejected. I waited for the push below, the retest. The goal was to play it from roughly 711 down to 590. Just didn't play. And then attempting to do what I was not doing all of last week was basically when you're wrong, just admitting you're wrong and getting out. So that's a survivable loss on NQ. I know maybe if you're first trading this, it like might seem dramatic, but it's really not. The way this market's moving, you can make that back in like a third of a trade real quick. Real quick. Wanted to trade with me, Britt. Shout out to Tradeify. Shout out to Take Profit, folks. Don't let like the weirdness of the story with Apex right now deter you from trading overall or sim funded trading. There's still a lot of like great firms out there. Like I'm still very happy with Tradeify. I'm very happy with Take Profit Trader. Happy with like the ones that you see me actively trading on right now. It's because I haven't had issues with them. Granted, I haven't tried to request $1 million out from any of them, so maybe that's where things get a little bit sketchy, but thus far, I am happy with how things are going. Okay, it could be a higher low. SpaceX, Apple's going flat. MU catching a bid, AMD. All right, so things are maybe finding a higher low right here. Oh, part of the reason I also went short is I saw this flow alert, but remember we kind of experienced the impact of it about 6 minutes later. So I'm just curious when it gets to 10:05, 10:06, how this is actually going to look here. But this flow alert, I guess it was bullish. I guess it was bullish. Are we picking up decently? Are we going to hold this VWAP? What time is it? 10:04. It's actually moving a little bit quieter than I thought it would be. Okay, so the current high is 800. SPX, where are we at on SPX? All right, it is starting to pick up over here. We're right at that 50. If 50 does go, then we have 570. Oh. Where are the profit takers? Nowhere to be found quite yet. We did get a little pop there. That was some call buying and some put selling. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. Oh, brother. Are we going to get this break of 550? Is it a worthwhile shot? The risk is roughly 700. That's a large risk, but the momentum is strong. I'm torn. Do I just want to rip this? It's a little bit of a front run in my signal. I wouldn't do it with too much size. I'd keep my size intentionally small. What are we doing today? Let's zoom in. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. All right, we're going to take a stab at
Order
it.
submitted.
I'm just kind of arbitrarily throwing it up 100 points just to see how this plays out. All right, taking a long position, looking to see if this was a higher low exactly at 10. Seeing how this really goes from here. Let's see if we could get a nice trade in. Brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Spy flow maybe now flattening out at 10. What time is it? 10:06. Maybe we could see this pop. Maybe. NASDAQ pop came back going a little bit flat. Mag 7 just kind of grinding up. And then the Russell is actually going down. The Russell's been getting sold, interestingly enough. Man, we've really hit an awkward pause here on the NASDAQ. An awkward pause over the past 4 minutes. SPY, ooh, that might be a lower high. All right, we got to watch this setup. Let's see if we can keep tracking with these higher lows. Let's see if we could keep tracking. Remember, you're going to be wrong about half the time. That's just how trading works. The key here is when you're wrong, to just get out relatively quickly. Get out relatively quickly. Are we going to be holding this trend? Are we? Yes, no, maybe so. Or are we just going to put in another higher low? It's obviously a lower high as of now. But let's see. Let's see. Do you use a tax advantage account for your long-term portfolio? Yeah, I do. But I also have like a longer term portfolio that's not, but most of my like investment account, most of it is going to be like tax sheltered with retirement accounts. For sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. My active trading account is not within the shell of a tax advantage thing. It's just my own brokerage. Watching this potential breakdown right here on the SPY, the Qs are stronger. The NASDAQ is stronger on a relative basis. You have SpaceX in the bottom right trading at 173. Micron's up 8.3%. AMD's up 8.2. TSM is up 2.7, but intraday a little rough. Apple's up 1.6. Would love to see this tag 300. Tesla's up 1%, kind of drifting down. Nvidia drifting down. Google 2.5. Oh, is this that turn? Shoot. Do I want to cut this? I don't want the loss to get to spiral out of hand here. We're right at this VWAP. I'll give it a second to see if it could hold this, but I kind of very much need it to hold it. So remember, the orange dash line is the RTH VWAP. So a lot of people paying attention to it. You could see we reacted to it, we reacted to it, we reacted to it, hoping we can react to it again. But just because you reacted to it historically doesn't mean you have to every single time. So I'm watching this. If it doesn't hold, I kind of need to cut the position because it does. Did my data just drop? What the fuck? I just lost all my data. What's going on? Okay, I think that's
Order canceled.
okay. All orders canceled. I might have to cut this anyway, but maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. Once again, it's a game of risk reward, just trying to take on minimal risk. Just trying to take on minimal risk. But a little bit freaked out by the fact that data dropped. And it seems to be working now, but I don't know what that was about. Also, this is wrong. Oh, brother. Is it going to break? Do I just want to cut this? Oh, the issue is if I cut it and go short, my new risk is 63. So that's 60 points of risk. We're still moving with pretty considerable size these days. Pretty considerable size these days. We're just kind of dancing around. We have these higher lows, lower highs. It's just classic consolidation. We just have to wait. I guess I could have been a bit more patient with this entry, but I kind of thought when I got in, it recovered all these EMAs. I thought I was going to push back up to 800. I could go stop to break even, and it was a break. Like then it would be just a free trade. Obviously, that did not happen. And right now, the question is, will RTH VWAP is 715, 700, a key psychological level. This happens to all be playing out while SPX actually got rejected at 550. We overshot it, lower high. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, mother. All right. So let's see. Recent low here at 944. This is the results of our $6,000 trend line course that we take. We take it every single day. Okay. We bounce off the 1 minute 50 EMA. We're maybe bouncing off of that RTH VWAP. This is a bunch of maybes. Where's the 1 minute? This teal line. The teal line is the 50 EMA on the 1 minute. So a little bit of support found there as it was before. And we're also obviously at the RTH VWAP. But I don't know. How many times can we keep bouncing? How many times will it hold, or will it quickly just puke? Why do I keep losing this other VWAP? Oh, I don't like this. I'm going to give it a second at 700, but if it starts to break, I'm going to cut it, and I might even reverse it. Watching it. I don't want to give it that much room to go against me. Don't want to give it that much room. Oh, are we finding buyers here at 700? What time is it? 10:13. Decent time to get actually a nice move. Come on. Well, fuck. This is not looking ideal, team.
Order filled. Order filled. Order submitted.
Not ideal. Is this a fake out breakdown? Did I just get wicked out for no reason? Don't tell me I got wicked out on that for no reason. Oh, disaster. Disaster, disaster, disaster. No, look at that. Oh, that's so brutal. That's brutal. That was a really like literally wicked out right at the bottom. Well, that was incredibly stupid. Wow. Yeah. What a just wicked right below. Son of a bitch. Incredible. Well, let's see. What's flow looking like? So flow is down in the favor of this VWAP. I guess I'm not completely screwed yet. I mean, horrible entry, obviously. But I'm saying in general, like the options flow is kind of coming undone. It is trending down. The issue is I don't know if I have enough room to actually let this play out if it is going to go just from one VWAP to the next. This is a rather basic play. I'm not like trying to reinvent the wheel here. It's literally playing it from one VWAP to the next one. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. Oh, brother. Why short? Because of the odds of going from one VWAP to the next VWAP. Like that, anyone can backtest that. Anyone can do the analysis on it. There's also the downside gap fill. We're pushing below the EMAs. We're pushing below one VWAP. Like just basic analysis of just like the likelihood. But remember, there's no such thing as 100% in this game. So I'm trying to play what is statistically likely here, but that doesn't mean that it's 100%. And I also don't have the much leeway to let this play out because of how bad the exit was. Generally don't care about wicks. We want bodies. I don't agree with that at all because I think that's a really, really poor analysis of not caring about wicks, but caring about bodies. First of all, trading is trading. And so if you're only caring about bodies, that means you're only arbitrarily caring about the trade at the start or the end of a specific time frame. And where you see wicks and bodies on one time frame might not be true on the other. So when you're doing something that isn't, let's call it rigorous, that means you can always find a reason of why you should have done something. And you could always find a reason when things go wrong of why you were wrong and shouldn't have done it. This idea of like, don't use wicks, only use bodies or this or that, like it doesn't logically hold. Right, but wicks are getting bought. Well, technically every single trade is a buying and a selling. Like that's what trading is. Wicks are getting bought and they're simultaneously getting sold. That's what trades are. What we see are active trades. It's buyers and sellers agreeing. So if you see a trade, that means someone bought it, someone sold. So even that, I think just the framework of how you're thinking about this is wrong. But if the trend is intact, it destroys the RSI rips. Yeah, I think you have quite a bit to learn here. Remember, RSI is only backwards looking. It doesn't have any forward looking prediction capability. It just is a mathematical explanation of the most recent bars. Like that's what RSI is. What was the other part that you said? Oh, it keeps the trend intact. Trend is different per time frame. So you could have a particular trend on the 100 tick, which could be very different than the 1 minute, which could be very different than the 10 minute, which could be very different than the 30 minute, which could be different than the 4 hour, which could be different from the daily. Trend is hyper specific to the time frame that you are on. So once again, I wish trading was as easy as you're trying to pitch it of like, okay, like just don't trade that wick. But okay, the question is wick on what? Like someone might be looking at the 10-minute bar And that could be in the body of a 10-minute bar, and that's what you're trading. But then some other person could be on the 1 minute, and that could be the wick of the 1 minute. Well, is someone right and is someone wrong? Like that, it doesn't make sense. So it's just like you're not being as like specified. Like it's not even specified. It's almost as if we can't behave as if in a singular time frame in a singular setup there is more truth in that than there is in other time frames and other pieces of information. They're all equally important. What someone is seeing or isn't seeing on the 30-minute is as valid as what you're seeing on the 1 minute. They just happen to be different time frames. So that's why I never bought it. And like, it just, if you really spend time thinking about it, of like, if someone makes this statement, don't trade the wicks, what does, like, how could that possibly actually hold? Like, how does that actually make sense? Because whenever you're trading, it's going to be a wick on some time frame, and then simultaneously it's going to be in the body of another time frame. So what are you? It's like almost like Schrodinger's chain trading. You're like simultaneously always doing the right thing and the wrong thing, and then what you're only judging it on if you made money or if you lost money. So that logic, it just doesn't hold. Same thing with indicators. Is like if you're looking to buy or sell if the RSI or the MACD is high or low, once again, at pretty much any moment in time, you can find opposite readings for the exact same setup, for the exact same price. Maybe on the 15-second, it's completely oversold and you should be going long, but maybe on the 1 minute, it's overbought and you should be going short. So it's just be careful of things that maybe in the moment when the person's pitching it to you and explaining it to you, it sounds good because they're cherry picking an example that's playing out like in front of your face. But just be careful to how much like weight you're actually giving that. All right, I'm going to sell these. All right, I need to update the Discord really quick. Made about 8K, I think, on that. Oh, where is the Discord? Where is the Discord? I'm back to break even. Well, I was for a second. And now I'm not. Back to 800. We keep pushing below this VWAP. Like I said, I'm just like literally the purpose of this trade, which is taking way longer to play out than I thought it would. And now we pushed it 3 times. Is I was trying to play it from this VWAP 715 to the RTH VWAP to session VWAP. Doing research on that on an intraday basis, generally the first or the second one of the day, has decent odds. I'm not saying it's the best play ever, and I'm not by any means saying it's something that's like always perpetually going to be making you money and it's like a free money machine. But just looking at the odds of it, in an overhyped situation like this, where people are chasing the market to the upside, you have to start consider profit taking. You also have to consider the fact that the daily chart has a gap down. So all of a sudden you have some statistical reason to believe of like, okay, if you can get in for a low risk short, maybe you have an opportunity. Then you start pairing that together with, okay, the odds of bouncing from one VWAP to the next VWAP to like maybe be interesting. So that's where you're starting to get some mathematical reason, but there's a very important caveat to what I just said. Can you do it with low risk? And whether this trade does or does not work for me, it was not a good trade by that definition. I want to be very, very clear. If I make money here, it's not a good trade here. If I lose money here and blow these accounts, I kind of deserve it because I didn't do it with good risk management. I ended up messing up my exit. I had that long, which was a good one, but I had the long set and I was trying to get out and into one, and instead I ran it up by an extra contract, which was not my intent. As I said before, I was trying to play with one contract, so I had a messed up exit. So like I said, if this works, statistically, there was reasoning for it, but that doesn't mean it was proper sizing, which is probably more important. your trading strategy, whatever it is, yeah, that's important. But what's much more important is your sizing. Like sizing is where everyone really needs to start. And then from there, especially for active trading, just because there's so much noise, quote unquote noise, in intraday trading, from there you can start to refine your strategy. But sizing is actually a lot more important than strategy, especially when you're first getting going. You could have the best strategy in the world, but if you're not trading with appropriate size, you'll still blow out. On the flip side, you could have a horrible strategy, but if you have decent sizing, good sizing, you could at least still survive. So that's why sizing is so much more important. Jesus, dude, this is just what is going on right now? We're just watching paint dry on this one. What a bad fill I got too. Bad fill. Matt, you keep making risk management mistakes every day and expect different results. Exactly. One of these days, I'll get a different result. One of these, I'm bound to get a different result, right? One of these days. What does blowing an account mean? That's specific to the world of trading in prop firms, where if you blow the eval, you just have to get another eval. So there's still some risk because you purchased the eval, but it's lower risk than risking your own account. So obviously, the way you saw me trading my options account just now, the market started to turn a little bit. I was up 8K. I'm not going to risk giving any more back, so I sold it. But once again, that's my own fully funded account. So basically, to the top of my mind, I'm going to be a lot more serious about risk management just because of that ratio of upside versus downside potential. Now, in these futures accounts, if it's just an eval, like, I don't know, it still costs me money, but it's far less. So like if it blows out, it blows out, and then I just have to restart it. Now, obviously, if you do that time and time again, you might effectively blow out like the same amount of money as a full trading account, but you had a lot more, I guess, like opportunities, a lot more trade attempts to see what's working and what's not working. So the situation's like a little bit different, I suppose. A little bit different. But I mean, especially the way I trade is just part of the game. I trade super aggressively with more size than I probably should. So, like I said, it is just part of the game. Part of the game. Jesus. Is this actually recovering? What's going on here? We're right back at this trend line. Here's a look at options flow. It's trending up a little bit now. It's a slow grind up. We had a bottom here at 1015-ish. 1015-ish. And there goes that data. And there goes that data.
Order filled.
All right, I'm going to close these out. I don't like them. Is this going against me? It seems so. It seems
Order
so.
canceled. Order canceled.
Yeah, I'm going to cancel these out.
Order filled.
Okay. Oh, the question is, do I try to survive with these ones or do I just rip it? Oh, how do I want to do it? How do I want to do it, folks? Oh, questions, oh, questions, oh, questions, oh, questions. Here's a look. It is picking up now. We're seeing a little bit of life. Mag 7 hasn't really given anything back. The NASDAQ. Okay, the NASDAQ just got a pop, specifically the NASDAQ. SpaceX. Is there anything trend? Micron's catching a nice bid. That's good for me. AMD, not so much. TSM catching a bid. Micron catching a bid. Micron's actually one of the biggest gainers on my watch list for the day. One of my biggest gainers. Oh, do I want to do something really degenerate to start off the week? That's inevitably the question, you know, is do I want to do something incredibly degenerate just to kick this week off and see if I can magically save these accounts? Man, it pushed low 3 times. That's crazy. Gonna get going here. Oh, brother, oh, mother, oh, mother, oh, brother. All right. Let's see if I can find some tendies and tunes. Tendies and tunes, tendies and tunes. Tendies and tunes, tendies and tunes. It is starting to go a bit. Ba, 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 ba. I am not a robot. I'm trying to confirm. Bullwhip Magnifico. Looks like we have some new music here in Tendies and Tunes. Let's see what this one's about.
I'm not a smart man.
All right, all right, all right.
Mama just bought another deal. Put my stop below support. Market hunted it and ripped. Mama,
What are we doing? Are we actually going to move today?
but now I've gone and blown my gains away. Bulo barrel, bulo barrel, bulo barrel, bulo barrel. Magnifico. Mama just bought the breakout high.
Mag 7 picking up again. S&P 500 picking up ever since 1014, 1015.
I thought I had it won, but now I've gone and blown my gains away.
Slow moving today. It's like just gearing up for a crazy remainder to the week.
Mama just bought another deal. Thought I
And
caught the
back
bottom
down
tick.
right after I closed it too.
Then it
Son of a gun.
sank like a fucking ship. Mama, the pain has just begun, and now I've gone and blown my gains away.
Taking another hit right now. Inverse head and shoulders, maybe? What was that one? That was Magnifico. Ooh, Kohrs on the cob. This is the guy that's going to save us. This will save the market.
Girl, you used to open strong every morning. Had me believing
Yeah,
you was
Kohrs on the
something
cob's going to
more.
bring us to new highs. I can feel it in my
Green candles
bones.
climbing felt like love at first sight. Yeah, you pulled me in slow, then you wrecked me overnight. I kept buying dips like you turned it around. Kept defending you when you kept letting me down.
Dude, Kohrs on the cob shows us what's up.
Every day I told myself just hold tight, but you kept on bleeding me dry every night. Yeah, you took my patience, took my pride, had me staring at you all damn night. But there's one thing you ain't taking from me. You can take my sleep, you can take my peace, take every dollar you ever took from me. Break my trust, run me into the ground, turn my whole damn world upside down. You can fake your pumps, you can sell that dream, you can shake me out with your volatility.
If this can get going, I actually think this could have a nice pop.
Broke my
I'm just around, I don't know, like 775, 800 flat. Like if we can take that out, I guess that's a big if at this moment.
Heard the news say you were bound to fly.
But does not want to follow through, does it?
So I doubled down when you started to fall. Now I'm big, holding heavy, staring at it all. Well, volume dried up, you went cold as hell. Every bounce just another trap you sell. I should have left when the signs got loud, but I stayed too long. Now I'm stuck in this crowd. Yeah, you played me like a perfect con. Every rally didn't last too long. Still, I ain't folding my hand. You can take my sleep. You can
It's just not really moving.
take every dollar you ever.
All right, I'm seeing if there's any breaking news.
Me down, drag me through that low. Make me question everything I know. You can spike then fade. You can steal my hope. Try to shake me out, but I ain't letting go. Yeah, you took it down to everything I own, but you can't take mine.
All right, let's see. Just whipping. A little Kohrs on the cob. I thought it would save the market. Apparently not thus far. We're just going flat. We're just going flat. Is it? I mean, it just keeps holding on to 700. TSM's catching a bid. All right, let me add a Tradeify account here. Tradeify 150, Trade of 8, code Goonie. I need to select all the motorcycles.
Some kid turned 30 grand to thunder. Now the old man at the country club, I'll drink
Select 150, Trade of 8. Just to be clear, I do like the select accounts, and then when you pass them going to the the blue pill flex. I think those are the best on Tradeify, at least for the way that I trade. Here's a look at flow. Back down. There's a higher low there. I guess we're not going from VWAP to VWAP. Well, at least not yet.
With a blackout dress and perfect teeth. Says her daddy sold the bottoms back in 1983. But she still leans in closer every time I mention gamma squeezes. Like financial suicide somehow just sounds romantic in the evening. I've seen grown men lose religion, watching after hours bleeding. And I've seen broke kids from nowhere turn their rent into a season. The bartender talks recession while the models smoke beside the fire exit.
Is it gonna break? Like, it just doesn't know what it wants to do. Just nothing. Nice move. Around 10:05, it kind of stopped, and now we're just waiting for the actual move. PSM, Micron, AMD, Apple. Even Apple's starting to take a bit of a hit right now. Just waiting, folks.
We got rich off red-eye candles while the whole world slept through the storm. Now the same mouths that used to doubt us try to dress themselves in what we formed. Velvet mornings after all-nighters, trading futures while the sun comes in. Yeah, the lucky ones are just the ones who stayed alive long enough to find
Options flow a little down here. We are in this positive gamma. I don't know if this knows which way it wants to break. I see a lot of buyers at 700 flat on NQ. This might be a little bit easier. 700 flat has quite a few buyers, but like even that's, we're just not really doing anything. We had a nice impulse to the upside, a pullback. This higher low led to kind of a failed impulse. And here we are. A little fake out high, a little. So we have two different fake outs. Here's this low, we wicked lower. Here's this high, we wicked higher. We want to rage quit here. Well, there's the buyers at 700 popping it. Will it hold? Do we just rip it for the fuck of it? $700 is holding decently.
Order submitted.
Flow. Yeah, dude, it's just all this positive gamma. There's a big positive gamma node at 7520, just so everyone knows. Option flow, slow drift on the S&P 500. Mag 7 giving a tiny bit back after a decent pop. NASDAQ giving some back. IWM, actually after selling off till about 10:15, a bit of a drift up. Looks like, what's this? Okay, we have some interesting news here. Question is just, do I want to close this out before we get into some of this news? This is getting like crazy boring today. I had higher hopes for sure. I had higher hopes. Here's this. The point of control, the POC. Here, let me turn this down for a second. The POC is right here, 720, and we're also at the 1 minute like cloud.
Order canceled.
And apparently I'm
Order
losing those
submitted.
accounts. Oh, brother. Which way are we going today, folks? Which way are we going? Hang on. I want to see what this is about. Oh, looks like Public was on. What did Public was on TV this morning? What do we have here? Talking about SPCX.
First off, on Friday.
Let's see what this is about. Life, who is the co-CEO of Public, favorite place to trade, breaks down retail investor demand for SpaceX.
First off, on Friday, it was the most successful, the most popular IPO on the Public app ever, and so
Makes sense.
Half, or mostly half of the people that opened the app on Friday bought SpaceX.
Wow.
So you think of the conversion of just people using the app to actually buying a stock, I would say that's, massive. And it was like 533% above the second most traded stock that day, which was NVIDIA on our app. And if you put,
Holy
I think it was
crap.
NVIDIA, if I do the list right now, NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, and Google combined, it still traded more than that. And so it was quite...
That is one
I think
popular
I've never seen anything
IPO.
like it, basically.
No, on our app, not, no. But obviously, Elon itself, and retail have a special relationship. And I think, generally speaking, SpaceX obviously is a very inspiring company, right? And I think if you look at these valuations and stuff, you're always being
I feel like
100
it's
times
very
revenues and so on,
polarizing.
how can you
People
underwrite that?
love it,
And I think
or
retail
they just hate
specifically
it because it's
has
Elon.
more of an ability to do so because you can look more into the future. You're holding longer. You're not like someone who has to get their carry check every year.
The most popular IPO that they've ever had. I believe it. I mean, even in here, looking at the views, the generic excitement, I believe it. I fully believe it. Hang on, let me pause this. What is this?
Negative.
This is.
First off, on Friday, it was the most.
Hang on, let me pause that. What do we have here?
There's a lot of negative view of AI overall. A lot of it concerning job losses.
Yeah.
And when I listen to you and the productivity gains that conceivably could come about as a result of success, I do wonder, do we lose jobs as a result of this, given you're going to be taking the manufacturing process and sort of doing it in a very different way?
No, I know there's a lot of concern in general about AI and job loss. I have a very different view. I think what's actually going to happen is we're going to have labor scarcity as a
Labor
result.
scarcity
People are
with
gonna have to
AI?
work
You said
hard.
that with Andrew a few weeks
Yeah,
ago
and
when
I
you
really
talked to
believe
him.
it.
Why do you believe that?
I know why people are pessimistic. They're pessimistic because a bunch of smart people are telling them to be pessimistic, but those people are
Yeah,
wrong.
it is pretty overhyped.
This is going to be when you have productivity, and this could be very significant productivity in the economy, and that is going to raise the standard of living. So that a lot of people who, for example, today have two earner households, perhaps one of those earners will decide not to be in the job market, and so they'll become a one earner household. Maybe some people who are working overtime will stop working overtime because they don't want to work overtime. So there's going to be, when you have that much productivity in the economy, that is the basket of goods that people can afford on less
Goes
money
up,
goes
and you think
up
the
very-
rewards will be shared in that way? I don't want to get into the wealth discussion. You've already had that. So,
No, of course, this is, if I take you back to the plow, they can't help but be shared that way. These inventions drive fundamental progress. Somebody invents penicillin and it does help everyone. Somebody invents, solar cells, and it does help everyone. And so on. The iPhone doesn't get reserved for just a few people. It's not how it works. It's the inventions themselves that spread throughout society and improve life.
I kind of see where he's coming from this, but like I don't know if that's necessarily the best metaphor we have rocking. I don't know about that one. What else do we have? Some Elon Musk stuff.
You're saying because Elon Musk exists and is a wild success, that is somehow to the detriment of all the people you're mentioning? Elon is creating an environment where entrepreneurship, where success, where building is celebrated. The only reason anybody's mad about this, let's just be honest, is because he supported Donald Trump for president.
100%.
If Elon Musk had never gotten involved in politics, had never supported Trump, he'd be getting ticker tape parades right now for building this amazing company and sending rockets into space. It's all political, and the people who should love Elon Musk are the ones who hate him for that reason.
But do you agree that one person should have control of American policy? That's what influence is.
He
doesn't.
He doesn't.
He loses.
He
He invests in races and loses. He's like anybody else who donates money, like Reid
access
Hoffman.
to the White House, and it's all about access. It is all about access to the United States.
That he supported a candidate.
Why is it an issue now, but when George Soros was doing it, no one like batted an eye?
There are races all across the country where he has access on policy.
Call me when you're mad about Alex Soros.
Like in Texas.
Right
Call me
there.
when you're mad about Soros.
All right.
That's a fair point. It's apparently now with Musk and obviously his support of Trump, now it's an issue that rich people are involved in politics. But before this, it was fine. And they're like, that's just what rich people do. It's like, you can't have it both ways here. I don't think it's necessarily good that there's so much private money involved in politics, but it's not one of these things where only one side's rich people. Like if you set the game, you set the game, and then you can't start crying when the rich people start to be supporting a group that maybe you're not personally aligned with. But I find this whole, I don't know, anti-Elon Musk thing kind of interesting, because had he been a gigantic supporter of Joe Biden, I think we would have heard a 90th of the complaining that we currently do. I deeply, deeply believe that most of this, I think, is just in one way or another, like an offshoot of Trump derangement syndrome. I think just in many, many people's mind, you have Elon associated with Trump, and then that's why people choose to not be a fan of his. I deeply, deeply, deeply believe that's what's going on right now. I don't think it has anything to do with him or Tesla or really his worth. And then, of course, you're going to get these people who are like, there should be no billionaires, blah, 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 blah. It's the dumbest argument ever. I don't think people realize that this money isn't liquid. It's their equity in a company. They're using this to create jobs. I mean, Elon himself is what I think it's 150,000, 200,000 jobs. He's putting a lot of meals on a lot of tables for a lot of people. This is what you get when you're one of the best business operators of our time. You're going to make a lot of money. And if anyone in here is complaining about it, okay, you go prompt an entire EV revolution. You go solve people being quadriplegic or paraplegic, and you help them regain it. You go send satellites to space, and in the meantime, catch rockets with chopsticks out of the sky. If you make as impressive companies, and I'm not saying he's the one who solved every problem, but he's the operator who's put together the capital and the people who do solve the problems, and his name's on the company, that's your reward. And that's one of the beautiful things in the US is if you want to do that, you can go do that. And like, I understand that there's some rhetoric of thinking that somehow he was born wealthy or something like that. He wasn't. Like any amount of research, and you can go find out, he actually had a really, really rough childhood. This isn't a person who was like born into a very wealthy circumstance. Maybe better than average. I don't know. It depends on like what your average is going to be. But like, it's just there's so much bullshit going on, and I just see a lot of jealousy, and I don't know. If you ask me, maybe this is the best way to explain it. I have a much bigger issue with Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders being multi-millionaires, especially when you consider the fact that they're career politicians and look at their averagely pay. I have a much bigger issue with Nancy Pelosi being worth what, $300 million. Once again, career politician. Look at her average yearly pay. I have a much larger issue with our elected career politicians somehow amassing millions of dollars that's never really accounted for than I do with Elon Musk being the world's first trillionaire, or any billionaire who revolutionizes whatever sector they're particularly in. Of course, we could get into like the nuances of, is this right? Is this wrong? Yes. Okay. Like, I think there's a time and a place for any discussion, but I think the first discussion we should have is, how are our politicians making millions of dollars when they're getting paid $200K a year? Someone needs to explain that math to me. And then as a society, when we're satisfied with that answer, then maybe we start talking about these billionaires, and is it right or wrong, or are there moral, philosophical implications, or something that could or should be improved? Let's have that conversation second, after we figure out how Nancy Pelosi is worth $300 million. Someone explain that to me, and how that happened all above board and some benefit to society. And then let's go. Bernie is not wealthy at all. I guarantee you Bernie Sanders is wealthier than 99.5% of all of humanity ever. For his age, it's just normal compounding growth. It is not. Definitely. Bernie Sanders net worth. He's a multimillionaire. What are you talking about? He has multiple houses, apparently multiple lavish houses. You're saying it's normal at his age to be a multimillionaire with multiple houses. That's just like common. Like, if you live that long, that's like the normal way that it plays out. I don't know. I didn't think that houses just like randomly pop out of nothingness. Maybe I'm just wrong on that one, but multiple houses and a multimillionaire. Interesting. I mean, I guess if that normally happens, put me on that particular path, because I would love to join. I would absolutely love to join that party. Sign me up for that class. Sign me up for that pathway in life. You just have to live, and then apparently you're just gifted multiple houses. That's a cool concept. Cool concept. Sign me up. Cool concept. Sign me up, please. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Saying Pelosi is missing from the news? I don't know. Worth $3 million, but he's not wealthy. Yeah, I mean, it's such a brain dead fucking take. He is extraordinarily wealthy. Matt's another bro. Am I another bro, or am I just like actually saying something reasonable and competent? I mean, I guess if you somehow think that it's okay for politicians who amass millions of dollars out of nowhere, and that's somehow more morally acceptable than a person who's made billions of dollars by generating and operating and running companies that literally change the world as we know it. If you think like the first one is more acceptable, like, you just, I get it. You're just hating Elon because of his association with Trump. Like, that's it. Just be honest about it. Just be honest about it. And I think this, it'll be more reasonable for all of us involved. Just be like, yeah, and that's fine. If you're like, no, I want to hate him because he helped Trump get elected, cool. But just be like, just own that. Be like, yeah, no, I hate him because of that. I mean, he's probably single-handedly made some NVIDIA might have made more, but he's probably top 2, top 3, top 5 generating other millionaires in this world. Why the whataboutism and not tackling one issue at a time? Because our politicians love doing nothing, I suppose. I don't know. You're going to have to talk to them about it. But in the meantime, I'm still having some data issues over here. Okay, this might have worked. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. I'm seeing an issue. I'm having an issue here on Take Profit. Hang on, I'm trying to disconnect and reconnect the take profit data stream here. Something I think is going on with my system because I'm connecting and randomly disconnecting from, I guess, like multiple of these services. I don't get it. Connection, disconnect, reconnect. How many times can a guy disconnect and reconnect? How many times? Well, to be fair, the reconnection. Oh, I think it just went through. But it is not doing. Okay, it's still not connecting. Disconnect. Reconnect. Reconnect. Okay, the question is this long worthwhile to buy? Okay, it worked. Nice. 164.
Order filled.
Let's punt it. Fuck it. I'm going long. I'm going long. He's doing it again. Just updating some of these orders. I'm looking for a pop up to 850 is what I'm looking for. Roughly. Roughly. All right. Roughly. I'm just setting up these orders. What is the consistency? The consistency on Tradeify is 40%, if memory serves properly. Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, 850. There's sellers at 800, which is obviously to be expected. I don't mind that. 850. Some of these to max out on my consistency on the day, I actually needed at 860. So I'm going to put some of the fills there. But once again, I'm taking a long position, trying to get long before this 800 breakout and see if I could ride that higher. See if I could ride that higher. Very impatient with today. I need to improve that. Quick reminder to all of you, I did have SPY calls. I sold those. I'm holding on to the TSM calls. But I have not sold anything over here. I'm in AMD. That's up 13,000. I'm in QQQ. That's also up 13,000. I'm in Micron. That's up 7. And my Apple's almost back to break even. I'm still technically down about 1,000 on it. So down 1,000, up 7, up 13, up 13. So 26 plus 7, that's 33. So 32. So not bad in terms of unrealized. And then on the day, I'm up 25. So obviously I was up 7 as of Friday. So, I mean, you see these positions now, you might be looking at it and be like, okay, Matt's in it. Do I want to chase it? No, you wouldn't want to chase it because you're chasing it to the tune of 118%. You're chasing it to the tune of 165. You're chasing it to the tune of 69. I mean, the only one that's like somewhat reasonable is Apple because you could get a better fill than I did. But also then that's like a little suspect because the market's going so much, but then Apple's yet down. So then you have to kind of figure out, okay, like what's going on with Apple that it's down when everything else is popping. So, I mean, do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. I think like simply copying another person and taking their trades is a great way to lose money. I think understanding what they did and asking questions about it, what they saw, what they didn't see, their plan on management, that type of a thing is like actually like a good teachable opportunity. Google's showing some life. Google is showing some life. Hey, Matt, I have a good question. When is it better to use option versus leverage ETFs? On the research I've done, they are both useful in different ways. What's your opinion? Oh, yeah, they're just two completely different things. Options, it's just, well, the first most evident thing is a difference in leverage rate, but then also you're dealing with different styles of products. In terms of leverage ETFs, you can't say time doesn't matter because it does matter the way they're constructed. There is a bit of time decay, but the time decay in options is much, much more. So you're dealing with a completely different style of product, which I think is an important note, a very important note. But hang on. I wanted to look at Google really quick. Chart, GOGL options. What? July 24th, June 24th. Oh, I have to manage these as well. June. I got confused because I saw 24, 24, 24, 24, but July, June, July 26th. Dude, I was all over the map. What day of the week? Huh? Oh, July 17th. Dude, I am messing up everything. What day are the monthly is the 17th. Oh. Okay. July 17th, June 24th, but July 24th. So I went a week out. I think that was a mess up. I probably should have gone a week before. Where are we at on this? Google. I mean, that's a big pop. We're almost looking at the all-time high here. That's a big pop. Crossing only once. We're taking out only once. Only once crossing down. Okay. So, I mean, we're literally talking about a potential all-time high there. Same thing. Crossing down only once. And then we're looking at this all-time high. Crossing only once. Yeah. Okay, so we're not that far. SPY all-time high, 760 and change. We're about $7 off from that. The Qs, we're looking at 748. And I have I'm in the money. 720. And I have time. I have a week and a half. Huh. Interesting. What other daily? Okay, so SPY and Qs might be going, yes, there are downside gap fills. The Russell did hit a new all-time high today, giving some of that money back, but once again, all-time high. SPCX, pretty much at its high from Friday, its debut. Micron, I am looking for a new all-time high on that. Let me make sure this alert. Okay, good. Downside gap fill, though, to consider. But MU, AMD did hit an all-time high. There are downside gap fills. TSM, similar. I'm looking for this all-time high only once at 450. We made that at the start of June, so looking for 450 to get taken out. Apple, I saw this vomit 1, 2, 3. I saw 4 wicks at the 50 EMA. I thought it was going to get going. There is an upside gap fill to point out. I guess I was like kind of looking at that 301. There's also that psychological level. open-ended. So I'm kind of looking at the upside gap fill on AAPL. Tesla trying to regain that 50 EMA. NVIDIA, similar situation. Google, same thing. It got to the 50, dance. I was hoping that it would get going. I thought there was a gap here as well, maybe a small one. But I'm looking for this shelf, I guess 385, or call it whatever you want. Microsoft, I don't know. That was brutal. 466 down to 382. I mean, that's just something's going on. That's just a dagger down. I bet it does eventually recover. I think it'll just take time. Meta, same thing. Fresh lows, but maybe it'll start bouncing. ASML, new all-time high. Rum, trying to hold that 50 EMA. Avadgo, Broadcom, still below its 50 EMA. Amazon trying to recover. Netflix not looking so good. Palantir up decent, but still below all of its moving averages. Oracle trying to recover, upside gap fill to about 198. Hut not far from its all-time high. Coin up 7%. MicroStrategy up 7%. Same thing. Good intraday gain, but overall the chart's not looking so good. Texas Roadhouse nothing. CoreWeave up 6.3. DJT up 7.5. AMC is somehow going up. Bonds trying to break out. NDX, we talked about that. Silver up 4%. Gold up 3.2. Interesting. Oil plummeting. I think oil comes down to the mid 70s and breaks and ends up going for this gap fill. Actually, I probably should set an alert. So something like maybe USO puts or just short CL. I think if you have a swing play, oil, energy down for sure. I actually feel strongly about that. Bitcoin showing a little bit of life, but I kind of want to see if it can actually take out 70 first. All right. I finally caught a trade this morning. I don't know if it's going to work out. I still have risk on the trade. I'm going for 4.5K because that's 50%, and that's what the rule on these are. I'm kind of treating it, I don't know. I guess I could move the stop to break even. I was thinking about trading it as like all or nothing, like either give me my 4,500 or nothing. And before, when I was saying 450, that's on these Tradeify accounts. I'm in at 48 because they have a 40% consistency versus a 50% consistency. So I was kind of thinking about that. I could move the stop to break even. I mean, I'm decently in the money, right? I'm about 30 points in the money, so I could make it a free trade. I don't know how I feel about it. Screen is black. Sorry. Why is that all messed up? Hang on. I'm on the wrong scene here. I'm long. Like I said, I wanted to be long below 800. I'm long at 87. These accounts, I'm targeting 62. That's the 4,500. And then these Tradeify accounts, I am targeting 47, 48, because that's 3,600. I'm long 3 contracts at 87, 88, whatever you want to call it. Some of these I'm targeting 4.5K. Other ones I am targeting the 3.6. Hopefully it can hold 800 and doesn't screw me over. Oh, I could move the stop to break even, especially on this bounce. I mean, if it bounces off 800, takes out 828, it would almost be silly not to, because right here, saves it at 800, saves it at 800, saves it at 800, saves it at 800. That's strong support. So if it were to break, that kind of tells me something is like going wrong. So I could reasonably go to break even on the break of the intraday high at 28. We did break out of, okay, actually that was an Orbo breakout too. Brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother, where's Piper, but there's a gap fill. That's dangerous. So there's going to be no signal there. Where is this at? Yeah, no signal today. No signal, no signal, no signal, no signal. Are we going to hold 800? Do I actually like this play or not? Do I want to go up? I don't think on the eval any of these have an unrealized drawdown. I'm going to give it a little bit of time for sure. Very quickly, shout out to Tradeify. Remember, they're running a great deal today with code Goonie. You can get rocking for as cheap as like $70. Once again, Tradeify, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I like the Select accounts. If you want to use Growth or Lightning, have at it. I think Select is the best rules. Obviously, then pick the account size that you like. 25K is 71 all the way up to 150, which would cost you 240. I like Tradeivate. And once again, Select. I like the blue pill, the flex ones, just because there's no DLL, no daily loss limit, which I think is very, very advantageous for everyone. So I just wanted to call that out before I leave. But anyway, no DLL on the flex. So once again, Select, pick the account size you like, use that code Goonie, but you could get rocking for as cheap as $71. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Before I leave you guys, I just wanted to show you my trades here, unrealized. So maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't. The max I'm going for today is 62. So we'll see if that either does or does not play out. I've done some option trades. You saw that. I locked in 8K on the SPY, and then the other ones are still all open. I'm just kind of rocking them. But I don't think it's worthwhile to chase now, but up 119%, 13K, up 168%, 13K, up 69%, 7.5K, down 12%, down 1K. So today's gain, $25,000 unrealized. I did lock in 8 on the other account. So feeling good. I just want to see if this can actually climb up to 100K. Not bad for this account being in the 50s at some point like early last week. So maybe it can get going, but just long some calls. Basically right now I'm crushing Micron, I'm crushing AMD, crushing TSM, I'm not getting crushed by Apple. I'm waiting for Apple to get going. And I did just add a new position, which I actually need to get into the Discord. So let me do that really, really quickly. Where are you guys in the Discord? Once again, if you want to know about my option trades in real time, that's exactly what Goonie trading is for. So I just did, obviously I let them know that I locked in the SPY play, took the profits from that and rolled it into a new position, which I am putting in as quickly as I possibly can. Added. Okay, that's in there. Anyway, folks, that's what I have for you. Hopefully NQ keeps going. I'm going to try to keep my risk intact. We'll see if it does or doesn't play out. That's Vanquish. No, that's not Vanquish. Vanquish, you have to close out of your positions when the market closes. You can't swing them overnight. I'm trading my actual account on these ones. Remember, there's advantages and disadvantages to like all this stuff. So for example, if you're doing sim to funded trading, whether it's Vanquish or Tradeify, the advantage is that it's less risk to you as you're figuring out your trading methodology and whatnot. But one of the disadvantages is I don't know of a single prop from that lets you swing overnight. And remember, big money is made from big moves. And most of the time, like 99% of the time, big moves come from time. Like large percentage moves is commonly a function of time. So if you want to make big money, when these people are like, oh, I risked 1K and I made 20K, like a 20X return, most of the time that's a function of time. You need more time for more price to develop and ideally ride the trend, ride the trend, ride the trend. Now that's one way to trade. I'm not saying it's the only way to trade, but obviously it's a way where if you really refine your strategy of what you're doing and what you're not doing, it can obviously pay massive, massive, massive dividends. So just something to consider. Remember that a lot of the time, not all of the time, a lot of the time, big moves require time. So that's one of the disadvantages of using sim to fund. So yes, you're opening up the opportunity for you to catch those big moves, but now you have to fund your own account. I'm not saying one's better than the other. Like many things in this world, it's a give and take. It's definitely a give and take. There's nothing really commonly in life, and especially in the market, where you can somehow have better opportunity and less risk. It just doesn't necessarily work like that. So just a little food for thought, if you will. But anyway, shout out to Tradeify. If you guys want to check them out, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, that code Goonie will get you a nice discount. I believe 35%. You could get as rocking as cheaply as $70 to see if futures trading is for you, better than, once again, funding your own account. If you want to trade with me, GoonieTrading.com. More importantly, we will be posting content later on today, so make sure your notifications are on, whether you're watching on Rumble or on YouTube. We're going to be streaming once again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be another little bit of a quiet day, but then the party really gets going Wednesday and will continue into Thursday. Wednesday's FOMC, Kevin Warsh's first Fed meeting. We might get a rate hike. And then on Thursday, it's the last trading day of the week. The markets close on Friday, an observation of Juneteenth, and it just so happens to also be quadruple witching, which is going to most likely be the biggest options, or not just options and futures expiration that we've ever seen in the market ever. So just wanted to call that out to everyone. I appreciate all the good vibes on your way out. If you guys want to help me out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Other than that, I hope you crush it in the market today. Once again, thanks for being here. I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. Peace.